Hi, everyone. So, many of the panels here at the WebSummit will discuss how algorithms and machine learning, generative artificial intelligence have evolved to an that apparently has no turning back. And many of you have already tested or are using a AI tool for a task or two, but don't know how exactly to scale it, how to use it for scale your organization. Here with me, I have Bruno and Alex, who will help us with that. So I'd like to begin asking both of them, and then I ask you to please take some time to explain also a little bit about your company, what your company does, but how this generative artificial intelligence increasing use has affected both of your business. Bruno, can you begin?
Of course. Well, good morning, everyone. So I'm one of the founders of CI&T, which is a technology services company that was created here in Brazil, and now it's a global company of more than 7,000 people. And what we do is actually help our clients imagine, design, and build digital experience to connect with their customers and consumers. So in that context, so it's a lot of software creation, and this is where we're using a lot of generative AI to actually apply it into the software development process, because as any type of content, it has a massive impact. Right? So we're seeing, productivity gains already of the order of 2 times, 6 times, depending on, of course, the use case. But and this is just the beginning, right? So we're anticipating that this will have a huge impact on the software development process, where you can do this in a way faster, way cheaper way moving forward. So, and that's what we're actually helping our clients to understand and to navigate, the thousands of questions that we have about security and privacy, how we use this, how we can capture the benefits without minimizing the risks of the field. There are many.
Thank you for being here. We have been working with natural language processing for the last 10 years, and we have been looking at generative AI for the best part of the last 4. But we, as most of people, didn't think the technology was ready for use. It has a lot of pitfalls. It has a lot of questions to be answered, but obviously OpenAI thought differently. And when ChatGPT came out, we thought, okay, this is it. We have to jump on it. We have to look what this thing can do. So we diverted a lot of resources to it. And what it does is amazing. I mean, what it started to do in the lab is mind-blowing. So some clients started to call and say, what can we do with this thing? And we say, well, we can do a lot, but let's do this. Let's do seminars there. Let me go there, show what we are doing in reality, and show how it can change your business. We showed, and many of those clients, and they are large clients usually, they decided to go for it. So we decided to start in weeks. We have probably 10 or 12 projects working. I'll talk a little bit about some of them in my next question, using this technology to transform business, but not only on technology. I mean, it has a transformational power in every aspect of an organization, and we are using it in different directions, in different ways, because it does things that the previous technologies simply could not do.
Bruno, can you give us a practical example of how you're planning to use this new era of generative artificial intelligence while building softwares?
So what we're working on today is in our own process, which is software development. Right? So again, we're using to create code instead of creating code from scratch. Giving the ability for our developers and our designers to create, prototypes, to our developers to create, test cases, to create documentation, to create, the first structure of the code. So really, using tools like Tab9 and Copilot, which Copilot, by the way, is a great name, right? So, it's putting someone to help the developer get more productive. So this is the main use case we're working on, right? Because it's we're trying to eat our own dog food, right? So this is, and change completely the way we work. The other ways to apply this technology is actually, in big content bodies, right? So that we're working with some pharma companies, for example, to actually help them create tools to educate patients and medical professionals, like to actually around some types of diseases. Right? So it's it's a way to access a huge body of knowledge in a very efficient way. So any industry where you have that situation, you can benefit tremendously from generative AI.
So Alex, I know that there are many challenges for your business, but I also like to know the challenges for the clients, for the organizations.
Okay, I'll give you 3 very different examples. We are working with the Brazilian High Court. They receive 1,200 new cases to judge every day. So they asked us, can this thing summarize those cases? Sometimes those cases have hundreds of pages, and the answer is yes. Can we give some questions, some basic questions, so it will answer and say which judge should judge it? The answer is yes. Can it pick up all those information that we have just created and then suggest a line of direction on law on it? And the answer is yes again. So we have an MVP going with them, and it's so important to them, then the presiding judge of the court is working on it. Second case, we are working in a chain of hospitals. Summary of surgery, I didn't know that, but after each surgery, the doctor, the presiding doctor of the surgery has to make a resume of it. So what he's doing, what we are doing now, and it's not the future, is now. We have put some high capacity microphones within the surgery room. So during the process of making the surgery, the doctor keeps explaining what he's doing, and in the end it creates a summary of it, and it's amazing. And the third one, chatbots. We have been working with chatbots for a decade, as I said. It probably can be trained now 10 times, 20 times faster than before. What would take weeks to train, now we can use much more complex databases, and it can be trained in hours. And much more than that, it lets go that mechanical kind of answer. It gets very natural. It gives it a very human feel. So I mean, we are probably changing all the chatbots installations we have around the world, and we have hundreds of them for this new technology.
So we can say that it is a game-changing technology.
Completely. Yes. I mean, in my career, I have never seen, sorry, Bruno, anything like that.
No, I think it's the genie is out of the box. There's no way to put it back on the box. Like once the consumer, the end user, has been exposed to ChatGPT, I think, and can ask any question in the world about any topic and get an answer, it just will change consumer behavior forever, and that pressure will go into companies. Your customers will ask, how come I can ask any question from this tool and get an answer, and I ask your customer service agents, and they don't know how to answer me about your products and services, which are a way more limited body of knowledge, right? So that pressure will come to the companies to increase, to help meet that expectations, new expectations from consumers, and everybody will have to adapt.
For organizations willing to use more AI tools and to transform their business to scale, which would be the first step, Alex?
Train people. Something we are doing is that we are training everybody in the company, everybody, not just the technology people. What we did is created a wrapper. This wrapper is connected to a series of OpenAI APIs. So and then we are explaining to everybody how to use it. Not necessarily to do something related to your work. We are teaching people to create prompts to give cake receipts. We are teaching people to do prompts to give travel tips, because we want all those people relating to that technology, understanding how it can change their lives. Because if they understand how it can change their lives, they will understand how it will affect their jobs and their productivity. So a brilliant thing to do is let everybody do it, incentive everybody to use it, and then you'll be on the right path for the many new things that will come.
Bruno, would you like to add something? Like the first step?
Yeah, we're big believers in one phrase at CI&T, which is nothing accelerates change more than success. So really pay attention to your first pilots, your first projects that you're doing this. Really concentrate, support, put your best people on it, and make it those initial experiments successful. Because this will create the energy, the excitement around, the technology, and we'll get the funds and the other problems solved, right? So in our experience, if you try to go too big, too fast, usually you get a lot of frustration, a lot of disappointment. So start small, make sure those initial teams are well supported, and make them successful. And I'm pretty sure you're set for success going forward.
Okay.
Differently of my brilliant friend Bruno, and he is brilliant, we are going for the home run. I am not looking for the small things. I'm looking for the big ones. So what can change the organization now? What can impact the organization now? And to each of our clients, we are going and saying, give me the hardest process. Give me the one we could not do 6 months ago. Give one that will change the way you do your job. Give me something that will change your organization and the perception of the technology you have within your organization. We'll make mistakes, yes. Experience is the name that we give to our mistakes. And I want, at this point in time, I want to make errors. I want to think what we got wrong, what we got right, because we have to move fast.
Okay, so Alex is challenging everyone.
No, it doesn't have to. It's small, I think. Put it's small in terms of number of people involved. You can do great things. That's the beauty of this technology. It's the productivity, the impact is tremendous that you can leverage. You don't need 200 people to do something big. You can have a small team doing really impactful things in your company. So it's not small in terms of a number of people. It's small, it's focus in where we start and make sure that start is successful. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed. This is another fad. It's not another blockchain type of thing. This is not going to go anywhere, and I don't think that's the case.
Okay, so everyone, we have to wrap things up. Thank for joining us today, and that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the event.